So what we've got is we've got our hardware. It's the hex head, that the last stuff that we just took out. So it's going to have your lock washer, flat washer, M5 by 12 hex head all together. This is the rear. Your electrical pigtail is the rear of the bed. So the notch goes to the rear of the bed. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start these. And you can screw it to where it starts crushing the lock washers, but you're still going to need movement on it, so you don't want to tighten it down yet. Okay, there's one side. We'll spin this around. Remember, the notch goes to the rear. Here's our pigtail. Okay, so we initially have it on. If you look on the side, you'll see that we have the two extra holes here. So you have the two spacer holes, eccentric V-groove wheel hole, eccentric V-groove wheel hole, and then two more eccentric V-groove wheel holes in the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Gigabot nameplate, since it's 1/8 of an inch thick. And to protect it, we're going to put a piece of masking tape over it. So that way it doesn't get scratched up. So now you'll see what we're going to do. Is you're going to put that on there. And you're going to have to hold this up. I'm going to see how close I really am, and I'm way off. Let's try that again. So we'll put the nameplate on, and I'm using a 1-2-3 block, and I'm just going to push this down to make this 1/8 of an inch from the top of your bed cross rail to the top of the side plate, and that's going to give you some adjustment room. What I did is I actually tightened this one a little bit so it just wouldn't float up and down. You want a little friction there. So we're going to do the same thing to the rear. And you can see that went down a little bit too far, so we'll come back up. I'm going to tighten this just a hair more. You're going to have to find that sweet spot. There we go, we're basically flush right there. So once when you get it flush at the front and the back, I have it on 7 on here. The reason why is that you're going to have to come back and adjust the bed when you level the bed out. So what I'll do is you'll see that it easily falls up and slides up and down, and it'll fall because of the weight of the bed. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom one, I'm going to snug it up a little bit. That way it just doesn't fall. And I'm going to do the same thing to the front. I'm going to pull it up in the front. So then we'll do the same thing that we just did on that side using the nameplate. see that we flushed it up there. And when you run your finger, you flushed it up there. So, now whenever you take your tape off, you'll see that you haven't scratched up your nameplate. We're going to leave it on for right now so it doesn't get scratched up.